Hoka, Australia, don't be getting greedy on us. Let's drop the price down a little bit. But overall, apart from the price, testing's complete and the scores are in, and this is the full review of the Hoka Mach 6. But before we get into it, massive shout out to my #1 running store, the Running Company at Geelong. I've got a link to their website in the description. Make sure you go check out that and check out all their running gear. And remember guys, if you guys want to support this channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Right, so checking out our quick specs here. Now, Hoka market this one as it's an up-tempo, lightweight daily trainer. It's neutral. Price point here in Australia, $260, and it's only $140 in the US. So massive price mismatch there between Australia and the US, like it is with a lot of shoes. Really lightweight package here. Love this. 232 grams or 8.2 ounces. That's in your men's size 9. Now, stack heights here, 37 in the rear, 32 in the front. That gives us a 5mm drop. So scores wise, now I've got to rate this shoe in accordance with the recommended retail price in Australia, because that is where I'm based. I know this is quite a cheap shoe in the US, but in Australia, it's not so. So it's at the same price point as the Pegasus in the US, but in Australia, this is up with the premium daily trainers. So for me, that's way too expensive. It needs to be further down, closer to the $220 mark. That's why it's getting 6 out of 10. Now in the weight category, this is a wonderful weight for a training shoe. I absolutely love the weight, 9 out of 10. Right, so in the upper, the material that they're using is a Creel Jacquard mesh. Now it's a bit of a double layer. It's very similar to what you're going to find in the New Balance Rebel. So it's got that little plasticky outer coat. However, this one's got a bit more structure and it's not as baggy or saggy. But it's quite a simple design. I really like it. The breathability is excellent in this shoe. Very solid heel counter here. We've got a cool Achilles flare, which I absolutely love in shoes. A medium amount of padding, very, very nice. The tongue is really thin and it's a mesh tongue, so obviously adding to the breathability of the shoe. And this tongue is really finished off nicely, so they've got this really premium feeling like felt or Alcantara material up the top, and it's cut nicely, so it just sits nicely on top of the foot. The tongue is gusseted, so it doesn't go anywhere. Standard lacing system here from Hoka, looks very similar to the other shoes. Now in the fit, this shoe is obviously narrow, true to size in the length, but I'm going to say narrow. It does come in a wide, which is really good, but if you can't get your hands on the wide in your true to size, you can come up half a size, exactly what I did, and that just fits me fine. Now comfort of this shoe, excellent, and the build quality as well, really, really nice. Well done there, Hoka. So overall in the upper here, I absolutely love the simple design, love the breathability. It feels top quality, loving it, 9 out of 10. So in the outsole here, we've got a fair amount of rubber coverage, which is quite surprising for a shoe that is so light. So pretty much the whole shoe is covered, except for a little bit of exposed foam here, just where the arch is and then through the middle of the shoe. But this rubber, Dura abrasion rubber, as it's called, now it's quite a soft compound. However, it's wearing down pretty nicely. So actually surprised about the durability in this shoe. Grip wise, it's very, very sticky and very nice in the dry. It can get a little slippery in the wet, but nothing concerning here. Now what is also really nice about this outsole, they've got this big crevice or this big cutout through the middle of the shoe, letting this midsole splay wide, and obviously that's adding to the ride of this shoe, so adding to the softness of this ride. So very, very nice. There is not too much not to like about the outsole here. I love how it adds to the ride of the shoe. It doesn't make it slappy, 8 out of 10. So in the midsole, very simple design here. They have just got one big slab of their supercritical EVA. So there's no plate in this shoe. However, this shoe is pretty stiff, so it feels like there could be a plate in it, or they've definitely got some stiffness running up through the shoe here, because when you try to bend it, so it's got a flex point there, but considering it's just foam in this shoe, no plate, you cannot, the rest of this shoe is extremely stiff. So fair bit of rigidity in this shoe, but obviously that's adding to giving this shoe a little bit of pop, so a little bit of spring back is just what we like. Now geometry wise, they've got the early stage meta rocker in this shoe. It doesn't feel overly rocket or a late rocker, so you don't feel like you're tipping forward in this shoe. There's just enough curvature here to take the slappiness out of the ride. And into the ride, well, first word that comes to mind is smooth. Such a smooth shoe, very efficient, very easy to run in. Now this foam has got a really nice amount of softness, so not soft and squishy and sloppy. It's got a nice amount of softness and a good amount of energy returns, but it's not overly bouncy. So it sits somewhere in the middle here that it's really hard to explain. So it is nice and soft here through the rear, and that's got to do with how they've cut this midsole out. So obviously it can collapse on itself, and it sort of feels like it does get quite soft here through the heel. But as you roll through your foot strike, it firms up, and you can feel a bit of pop as you come up, and that's just what you want in these lightweight daily trainers when you do need to pick up the pace a little bit. But yeah, just the right amount of softness, just the right amount of pop, with none of it being overdone. So not overly bouncy, not overly responsive, and not overly soft. Just sits somewhere in the middle, and yeah, it's just an easy shoe to run in. So what they've done to the foam, the consistency of this foam pairs really nicely with the rocker. So it's certainly on the softer side of daily trainers out there, but as I said, it's not unstable unless you require a lot of stability, or maybe a really heavy heel striker. You might collapse his heel laterally and fall out of the shoe, but most neutral runners aren't going to have an issue with it. So very, very nice. Feels great at a lot of paces. Feels great at just running slow. It doesn't feel clunky. And when you do want to pick up the pace, or up to that tempo pace, it feels like it can get up and go as well. So it's not going to have that wow factor like you're going to expect in a carbon plate super shoe with Piba foam. It hasn't got that. It's probably the next level down. So if you don't like a carbon plated shoe, the ride in this one really delivers. It's got some pep, it's got some softness, a little bit of bounce. It's really, really nice. 8 out of 10. So best use, well, it is exactly what it's marketed. It's a lightweight daily trainer. You can use it for your daily miles. It's soft enough for those really slow recovery days. It feels nice for that. And if you want to use it for your workouts, so some tempo workouts, or if you've got some easy runs with some strides at the end, this shoe is going to be amazing for that. It's also got enough foam, and it's nice and soft, and it's responsive enough to handle your long runs as well. The only thing I probably wouldn't do in it is I wouldn't do a threshold workout, or I wouldn't race in it. So I think this shoe is going to work best for those lighter runners and those people with a bit of a high cadence. So mainly hitting towards the midfoot and the forefoot, I think you're going to get the most out of this shoe. If you're a heavy runner or a heavy heel striker, you hit the ground really hard, I think this foam is going to compress really quickly on you, and I think that you're going to bottom the shoe out pretty quickly, and it's probably not going to last very long. Right, so some other options out there if you're considering the Mach 6. So first shoe that's coming to mind, New Balance Rebel, another lightweight trainer. It can pretty much handle anything that you throw at it. That shoe's going to be cheaper than this one, and it is more flexible, and the foam is a little bit more compliant. Second shoe, Asics News to Try 14 or 15. Again, it's a really lightweight daily trainer, nice soft foam that can handle some up-tempo work. And last but not least is the brand new Adidas SL2. So apart from the massive price mismatch that Hoka have got going on here in Australia, this shoe is actually one of the better shoes, or one of the better trainers out there on the market. So it's soft, it's easy to run in, it's comfortable, it's lightweight. It's just too expensive here in Australia. If this was at the same price point that it is in the US of what it is in Australia, so it's going to match the Pegasus, the Rebel, and the SL2, then this shoe would have absolutely topped the leaderboard, or my leaderboard, because it is just really a nice shoe. However, Hoka, Australia, don't be getting greedy on us. Let's drop the price down a little bit. But overall, apart from the price, great scores there, as you can see. Cracked into the 40s, very, very nice, even with a really low score for the price. So overall, if you want to cough up the bucks, it's a definite buy, but certainly look at other options if you're on a budget, because there's shoes just as good as this that are $80 cheaper. But anyway, guys, that's it from me. If you've got any questions regarding the Mach 6 or how it compares to anything else, please let me know in the comments below. And again, guys, thank you for watching. Make sure you give this video a like, subscribe to the channel, and we'll see you next time.